Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Urban Rider for another look at some of the world's finest riding gear. Today it's the turn of the Rev'it Globe trousers. These are a Goretex 2L 3L laminate membrane, which is the highest quality membrane in terms of waterproofing and breathability on the motorcycling market. And teamed up with Rev'it, who have fantastic wealth of experience in providing really technical gear from their adventure sectors, you know you've got a great thing here. I think far too many of us focus on what jacket we're going to wear and what we're going to buy, and then the trousers are a bit of an afterthought. I'm definitely guilty of this, and I've arrived to far too many meetings with a soggy crotch. So I'm keen to avoid that in the future, and I think this is the ultimate when it comes to creating a trouser that can combat all riding conditions and to have something that you know has you covered. So you don't have to think too much. These also have the ability to be worn either as an over trouser over whatever trousers you want to be wearing underneath, so that can be very convenient, of course, for commuting, but they can also just be worn on their own as a touring or an adventure or a commuting trouser on the hotter days as well. So they have an ability to adjust slightly and taper in at the lower leg, which means that there's a slight adjustment in terms of fit and the way they look to cater for that different use. But really the headline feature is all about this waterproof breathable membrane. So Gore-Tex products are, I would say, the best when it comes to dependability, longevity and quality. So there's nothing higher rated in terms of either waterproofing or breathability individually, let alone as a combination. So these are going to keep you very, very dry even when it's very, very wet, but also when it's very hot, you're not going to get damp and soggy from the inside. This membrane works really well to allow moisture from your body to travel away, keeping you at the right temperature and keeping you comfortable when riding, which of course means enjoying your ride far more. So these trousers come in at £399 inclusive of VAT. So these trousers have been designed really for that versatile mix from an urban rider to someone that wants to use it for touring and even adventure riding. But unlike something designed first for the adventure rider, this doesn't have lots of logos, strips and all kind of gadgets and gizmos visible from the outside. It's quite neatly blended in, so this has a fairly neutral look to it that would work well on anything. So it's a fairly muted black throughout the majority of it. You've got these integrated hidden features, like you've got the zip pockets on the upper side, and you've got these massive vents down the front here which have a waterproof zip to them. They're easy to access even on the go, and the water will not be able to get into those pockets when you're riding along, but it opens out a large area so the air can be forced all the way around these trousers on a warmer day, keeping you nice and cool. They come included at the price with CE level 2 armour in the knees and in the hips, which is also removable. There's a sports liner to the underside of it, which just means that it's comfortable. It helps also with the moisture wicking process, but it means that when you're wearing these without trousers underneath on warmer days, it's far more comfortable against your skin compared to the plain Gore-Tex membrane on its own. The outside of this is a hard-wearing denier nylon, which has got an abrasion-resistant element to it. There's this zip that runs all the way around the perimeter on the waist, which means that you can connect this to an accompanying jacket from Rev'it's collection to create a one-piece effect. And there's two options. You've got the full perimeter zip or the slightly smaller one at the back as well, which is more suitable to some of the jackets in their urban range. You've got a toggle system either side on the waist to really nicely tailor it in to make it nice and secure. There's a slightly higher rise to the waist than you get ordinarily, and that's of course because this is a weatherproof garment. You don't want to have a gap, and you certainly don't want anything left exposed at the back if you're leant forward on your bike. These are the standard leg length that we have here, and the leg length as standard is 34 inches, which sounds quite long probably for some people, but bear in mind these are designed so that you do not, the worst thing you could have would be a little gap at the top of your boots to where the bottom of the trousers is, letting in water. So these are a bit longer as a result of that, and they need to be a bit longer because when you sit on the bike, your leg will bend and the trouser bottom will rise slightly, so do factor that in, and we think 34 is a pretty good size length for most people. In terms of the sizing, head over to urbanrider.co.uk. The size guide here is correct, so this is a large, this is the only sample size that we had, and this is probably a size too big for me, so this would fit I think a 34. I'm a 32, so there's a bit of room to play with. I can get these to fit if I pull in the toggles on the side, but ultimately I would fit the medium size better in these trousers. Another nice system around the waist is this fastener, which has got a very secure motion to it. It clicks into place sideways, so you can do this with your glove on the go, and it means that you do get that lovely secure feel to the fit around the waist. Another neat idea is with the tapering of the leg itself. You have these Velcro strips and you have these snappers, which means that you can either have them really flared out nice and wide so that you can get these over a chunky pair of winter boots, or you can have them tapered in slightly as well if you want to wear them with a more tailored look, and it also just stops them flapping around if you don't have a really chunky pair of boots. So there's versatility there as well. You've got a gripper pad on the underside of the seat section on the back of the trousers, and that's also going to be good, of course, for keeping you nice and secure and fixed into position on the bike. So the Globe trousers will be available from the end of September. We think they're a wonderful piece of kit. They're not cheap, but for someone who really just wants to be covered in the absolute worst conditions, but equally use them in the best conditions and not have to think about what is going on technically, and just ride and just enjoy your rides, then the Globe trouser is definitely going to be a great option. But leave us your comments, thoughts and feedback and any questions you may have. And stay tuned for more gear reviews from Rev'it's wonderful new urban range, as well as more from our other leading brands in our lineup for 2019. So see you soon. Thank you for watching.